So in a later video, I'll probably be doing an update talking about other stuff. But one of my latest additions is the air conditioner for the basement. Even though it is currently 55 degrees outside, it's not there for me, and it is not almost close to 80 down here because of, you know, the monolithic amount of computers over there, the servers in the back closet. You got the 1, 2, 3 different arcade machines just pumping out heat because of damn LED boards, and all these displays are just pumping heat. But anyway, I pretty much need it. It honestly should be on right now, but I'm getting ready to leave, so it doesn't really matter that much. But the main question when we got is how the hell is the thing getting installed? So I went ahead and built this this frame for it. So this is the actual main part of the actual thing that's meant to go into the window, and it's all been duct taped with white duct tape to help to color it back to being looking correct. And this kind of wedges in between the door, and on that side there's all weather stripping going all the way down it. And then from the bottom, there's a little flap. Now, there's these flaps everywhere you go, so I can actually open the door. I did this properly now this time, because I've been through a couple of different revisions of this, but I did it properly now, where actually you don't have to like tape the door closed anymore. You can just open it without issue. But you got this foam down here. This is meant to cover up these specific spots, because these spots are where air usually gets through, because it doesn't properly mate properly, and it seems because of the door mechanism over here. But there's these flaps that go all the way around it, and these are what are used to actually seal the door all the way against the frame. There's ones around that side, there's ones here to come around like that, as well as in the back of this there is more weather stripping that mates it up with the actual door. This is very thick cardboard that came with it. It was actually part of the box, and you got duct tape all around it to help to seal that, to make it, you know, a little more weather resistant. And then down, once you come here, that's actually kind of flexes, so you can take this in and out when you need to. But it's pretty much in there, which is good how much it's in there. But that's just the actual frame, which is good because you can just directly close the door without having to worry about it. Most you need to do is come up here and make sure that's pushed in, because that won't always go in. Push all the way closed, put the stick in the door, and you're good. And then, as you know, these doors are not made to be halfway open like this, so there's actually another one of these flaps that are over there are put here to actually put it up against the side of the window, so that way air can't get through. And just by the nature of how this room is in a negative air pressure, like most rooms are, it actually is pushing against this to try to, you know, get past it, but all it's doing is helping to seal it. And the same thing applies to the actual exhaust pipe. Now, the exhaust pipe is the biggest point of ingress of your air that's going to come from the outside. And I'm sure anyone who has one of these knows that if you have it off, there's nothing to help keep the room in a negative air pressure. So what's going to happen is the outside is going to just push itself in. I'm just making sure it's like completely sealed up. You can put your hand all the way around this. There's also some more at the top that's used to apply pressure to push it up against it, to lock this in place, and also to stop air, because air would come around the top, and air used to come around all around these sides. But since you're putting so much pressure on it, doesn't really do anything like that anymore. But just making sure there's no air coming through here. But yeah, since you're always in a negative air pressure, you know, as soon as this cuts off, air is going to be trying to rush in, and where is it going to come in from here? And that's the problem, that you could smell it always. You could always just smell the outside coming in here and rushing back into the house. So way around that is to make a actual automatic mechanical vent damper. If I can get this guy open. And that's what it looks like. So this is actually, yet again, cut cardboard, and you can feel how much air is just coming through, and you're like crazy. But you have this it's an automatic mechanical damper that is used. So as soon as the air cuts on, it pushes this open, and it pushes it all the way open so that way the air can come out. And while it's running, and then as soon as the air turns off, this will close automatically because of that rubber band that's in there. And then there's some foam around it to help seal this to here, because if you don't, air will keep leaking by. But you can see we have some. So you have the rubber band, it comes here, it gets taped down, and there's a little bit left on this side you then take and you pull around and then tape it back down, because if you don't, this will just slowly begin to work itself out. This thing applies here, see we put a hole here, and then we see it comes up here, and then it's taped down, so that way it keeps itself in place. And Now, one of the issues when you do this is that because this rubber band is so taut, it's putting a lot of pressure on it. This thing usually does not have enough air pressure to push this thing open. So in order to make that possible, that's why there's this little flap here is not just here for show, or it's not a mistake. It's here on purpose, because what happens is as it's pushing it, this flap helps to push a little bit more open. Because if you take this flap off, it's not actually able to fully open the door. So we cut this on. You can see how the temperature's dropping from all the cold ass air coming in. I gotta do something because it's stinking. But if we turn this on, put that in the right mode. You can see now it opens all the way. And if you were to take that off, well, it's too late. But if you were to take that off, you saw how it's not actually able to fully open if you don't have this in place. You can see how it's not able to fully open, but if you have this flap in the way, you can still have it immediately slapped it open, because that flap helps to push the door all the way open. As soon as that flap comes in contact with the airflow, you can feel it absolutely just push the door open. You can also hear the motor under load too. You can see how it's able to automatically close itself once the air stops. So kind of important to make sure that flap is like that when you're pushing it back in, and then you get in there, lock it in place, and you're good to go. And once you've done that, then when the door is open, that will leak by, because it doesn't have air pressure put in. But once this whole entire door is like it is now, where it's completely sealed, now you have all this air trying to push its way through that door, which will actually self-seal the door itself. So it works out quite well. We can verify that. You can usually tell if it's working or not by feeling this exhaust pipe. If the exhaust pipe feels room temperature, it's working fine. And also checking the temperature, because that temperature will begin to drop or go more in the direction of the outside due to the way that it operates. And if I stick my hand in here, there is not even the slightest breeze, because beforehand there used to be like a little breeze out that you would feel. And that actually depends on the entire air pressure of the house, because if someone has a door open or something, or they have a window open for any reason, that'd be to cool it down or whatever, it will actually allow this door to leak by. But if all the doors and windows are closed, that means all the air is trying to come from one spot, which is right there, and it just helps to seal it. And as you can see, it works out quite well. No airflow whatsoever, so that's cool. And yeah, that's all. Just wanted to show that. It's a cool little engineering trick you can do. The only issue I really seem to have is, like, I went through a lot of revisions of that same thing. It was like this little thin one we have here. This one didn't work. One, because it's too flexible, and also because I also took it out because it's also probably going to get weathered quite badly. I tried another rubber band. That rubber band was actually so old that it just like constantly deteriorated and constantly would not close the door, and which is part of the problem. I tried using like a simple paper flap, which is cool. Honestly, a paper flap will probably work out quite well, but it also is just too weak, and also will just be destroyed by any sort of weather that comes by. That's pretty solid. I don't think any weather's going to really mess it up because of the duct tape all around it. And maybe over time it may be replaced, because duct tape starts to weaken over time as it's been exposed to a lot of heat. Same with this. This may eventually this frame itself may get replaced with something correct. That's just what I have right now. Unfortunately, I am broke as shit, like most people are. So I'm broke because buying this damn thing was $300 fucking dollars, which was a lot of damn money. I couldn't get my glasses I needed, but eventually I'll get replaced with all of Amazon, and then maybe if I'm lucky, I'll find like a proper damper. If not, I'll just go ahead and make one. For once, the Google thing didn't keep trying to listen to me. Maybe I'll 3D print one, but as we know, that 3D printer is big broken and has not worked for quite a long time. So anyway, that's it. I'll see you guys later. I have things to do.